So let me tell y'all about this crazy trade I took on the Euro USD. I actually took this trade early last week. The trade has now begun to go into profit, but there's a lesson to be learned in this trade. So if you take a look at this trade, you'll see my stop loss is sitting here, where my entry for the trade is way up here. So I know you're asking yourself, why the hell does he have an entry order way up there, right? The entry should actually be somewhere around here after the pullback. I know, but I kind of broke my rules just slightly on this trade. But again, there's a lesson to be learned even in this trade. So let's go over to the daily time frame to take a look at why I placed such a bad entry in this trade. All right. So if we look at last week, early last week, we can see where price began to accelerate as on the second day of August, right? Price began to accelerate. And on the third day in August, it accelerated a little bit more. So something came up where I couldn't be in front of the charts at 5 p.m. to see the close of this candle. So me being the genius that I am, or not so genius that I am, said, you know what, I'm just going to place a buy stop order above the high that it was at that point. So this didn't take place. The break of that, of my order, the entry of my order didn't take place yet. The price had made it up here, or it was somewhere around here price. So I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and put a buy stop order here, because with the aggressive move here, eventually I think price will break this level here and continue to the upside. So that is me trying to predict the market instead of reacting to what's going on in the market. So that's a mistake. You never try and predict the market without top-notch analysis. And even in that, you should react to what the market is doing. But here's the saving grace of the trade. But before I go into that, so as you can see, price is beginning to move up. The 200 period moving average is going up. The 36 is going up as well, right? So let's go up to the weekly time frame. And then on the weekly, I also saw price just, the swings are getting higher, right? So my mind is price is going to continue to move to the upside. Now, luckily for me, hindsight is 20/20, and it did continue to move to the upside. But here's the lesson that was learned in that trade. So I'm going to go from the weekly to the 4 hour, because we've already analyzed the daily time frame, right? So here's one thing that I did do. In this actual stop loss, I actually brought it up, right? After price broke out, I brought the stop loss up. Because although this was a terrible entry, because although this is a bad entry, I'm not wrong in my analysis that price wants to continue to move to the upside until the low of the previous week. Because remember, I went into this trade last week, until the low of the previous week has been broken. So as long as price doesn't break the low of the previous week, then hell, I'm still in a trade. I'm still committed to the trade. I should say that. I'm still committed to this trade. And eventually, like we thought, price did begin to break out. So price is breaking out of this small consolidation period, because it pulled back and then it consolidated here. Pulled back and then it consolidated. So price ultimately has broken out, and this may end up being a winning trade. Doesn't mean it's going to be a winning trade. Price could, die up here and just trade all the way back down. I brought my stop back up to here. So now I'm going for a 2-to-1 risk to reward. But although this was a terrible entry, the moral of the story is I was trading in the right direction of the market. I put my stop originally in a place where I am not wrong for the reasons that I took the trade, because if I'm buying out of this move here, what I am saying is that price is going to go up. This is the lowest that price wants to go. This is the value that the buyers found in the price, and price wants to continue to move to the upside. It does not want to go lower than this price, So the only reason I would come out of this trade, or the only reason logically it makes sense to me, the only logical reason for me to cut this trade is if price proves me wrong on my initial analysis, and price does want to go lower than this low of the previous week. Okay, so with that being said, I hung in the position, I was patient, and eventually price it's beginning now to trade higher. As a matter of fact, it's up 30 pips right now. And I'm gonna hold for this 2-to-1, and we're gonna see what happens. But although it's a bad entry, because I'm trading in the right direction, because I chose to put my stop and I risk only 2% of my account, because I've chosen to put my stop in a place where price is definitely I'm gonna be wrong if price hits my stop, I was able to sleep with the outcome of the trade. So that's a little lesson I wanted to share with you guys when it comes to trading this particular currency pair, or I should say this trade. Even when you're wrong, you can be right. Learn and trade Forex.